Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? We're fucking live. We're back.
Welcome to Super Late at 368. I'm your host, Gabe Olivero. With me is the man who went to Yale, apparently. Great writer. He's works at The Verge. He's got beautiful hair, beautiful face, beautiful smile. It's the man. It's your boy, Bijan Stevon. Bijan, how you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing good. I think I'm doing good. I don't know. It's been a long day. It feels like it's one of those days where I feel like I've been hungover the entire day, even though I know I
Yep.
haven't been hungover. You know.
Yo,
So
you
I'm
kissing
I'm
that
I'm
mic right now. You're all
yeah.
up
I
on the
guess
mic.
I love it. You gotta love the mic. No, I'm literally just in that place where I'm trying to hype myself back up because this is a highlight of my week. I like
How,
doing this. I love
how do
doing
you
this
get
with you,
how do you
Gabe.
get yourself hype? How do you hike? How do you get yourself hype? What's your go-to get psych track? Like what's going on?
Oh man, that is a good question. I don't I mean I have to think about that. Let me get back to you. Cuz like there's some songs that really do it for me, but
Mhm.
I think we have some gaming headlines and news to
Oh,
cover
we
first.
do. I got the I got the show notes prepped, ready to go.
Oh
Hot,
yeah,
fresh off the presses. Right here.
show us those.
Bam.
I think your
Bam.
handwriting is getting worse, but
I mean, so like when I was writing out GTA 5 stuff, I put the 5
you
Roman
forgot the
numeral
yeah,
before.
yeah.
So I just put it turned into an A to make up for it. But what we have right now, we have on for deck, we have GTA 5 in the Epic Game Store. Some news on that. Tony Hawk
Mhm.
Pro Skater 1 and 2 getting a beloved remaster. Probably have a trailer queued up on trailer time. Valorant patches that just came in, as well as
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
favorite people in the whole wide world, cheaters. And then,
We
but
we got to have like a cheat beat, just like a
cheat
segment where you talk about cheating.
Let's talk about
I
the cheats.
just like
Um,
you have so much love for these people who are
I
ruining
do.
video games.
It's just like they're out there on the forefront trying to make an impact. Then after that, we also have some trailer time where we talk about some trailers. There was some new things
Hell
that
yeah.
came out with the new
Triangles.
Epic Game, whatever engine, Unreal Engine 5. We also have, I think it was another trailer that came out. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Bijan, did you put in the running show like the Twitch streamer who thought they were better than other people? No,
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that.
he missed it. He missed it.
It's fine. I think we'll probably still be able to cover it. I think
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can I
yeah.
think we can rip. I
And
think we
then
can
the
do it.
big meat and potatoes. There you go. And then the big, the grande, the huge, the tremendous
Mhm, mhm.
meat and potatoes of today's episode is we're gonna be talking about the console wars, but not like how you typically know where console wars is like who's better, PlayStation, Xbox. So we're taking a different take, and we definitely want to have a bigger conversation with a developer in the future who actually is in the weeds on this. But it's because just to give you a taste, Assassin's Creed Valhalla had a little bit of a controversy where apparently, we're running on the equivalent of like super crazy consoles right now, like 2080,
Mhm.
all these weird things, high numbers. And it's only running on, I think, about 30 or 60 frames a second, which is like, what? But we'll get into that later on what that
We'll
means. But
get there. We'll
Bijan,
get there.
let's take it from the top with Bijan explains. Bijan explains.
Yeah. Welcome,
Bijan
welcome, welcome to my segment where I explain the
explains.
headlines. I don't even this isn't a segment. I'm doing a bit. I'm doing a bit with myself. It's great. So let's start with some games. We got some gaming news. Gabe is correct. GTA 5 is now free on the Epic Game Store until May 21st. And it came out in 2013. People still fucking love that game. And the reason I know that is because the Epic Game Store has been down the entire day. I actually don't own this game. Gabe? Did you know that? Did I ever tell you that?
No,
I
no.
I was like, oh, here's my chance to finally own a GTA game.
It
Uh,
further goes with my theory that you don't play games.
I game sometimes. I game occasionally. But I don't think I told you, but I think Apex Legends is going to be my new game.
Ooh, it's a
I'm like,
great season to get in onto right
it's
now.
it feels good. I mean, it's also like I'm kind of done with Fortnite. Like I hit the skill cap. Like I'm not going to get any better at this game. And it's like I want to try something new. I want to do something else. I've been playing a lot of Warzone too.
There you go.
Also, yeah, I guess we'll get to this later, but I did see you playing Warzone, running around
Ooh,
all fucking
we can
serious without
also
looking at the chat.
yo, dude, no, I was very
You were
committed. We'll get into that later. We won't take away from that.
you
What
were
else we
keyed
got,
in. You
Bijan?
were keyed in.
I was
But
keyed
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. So like, please drop some S in the chat for me and
So
my
matter of
GTA
fact,
quest.
just to go in real quick on the GTA 5 tip while we're on this, right?
Sure,
2013 GTA 5 drop, massive game, very big social commentary on this GTA
hmm
than any other GTA.
sure.
And I played a lot of it. It had a lot of controversy in the beginning because we were all expecting like a crazy GTA Online experience, which didn't come out till months later. Or I think it was like maybe almost a year. It was like a
It was like a
weird.
year. It
It
was
was
a
like
long
for it
time.
to actually be something you would play,
hmm hmm
and then it
hmm
became essentially what I think Fortnite is pursuing because GTA Online has kind of taken a breath of its own. Like you're buying GTA 5 not for the story, you're buying
Yeah.
gameplay. I mean the online gameplay, and
Mhm.
it's crazy because for a number of years people wanted to play it because of GTA RP, which like entirely, which
Incredible.
whew, like
Can I throw a huge shout
oh,
out to my GTRP friend Nicotine? Go follow her on Twitch. She's great. I think she's actually live right now.
oh,
Anyway,
uh,
I've become obsessed with the GTA RP scene because they're so good at role playing, and role playing
yeah,
is
like there's some
so difficult.
scenarios that happen every like I forgot there was this one person who did like a very like it was a bank robbing scene and it was
Mhm.
entirely preposterous. So it was like they're four in the
Yeah.
bank robbing scene. The whole server is there with their guns out, like, all right, what are you guys doing? It's not
Yeah.
necessary if you come out. Like, yo, for 30 minutes, this standoff was a thing. And they were like, well, we want a sandwich. Can we get a sandwich? He's like, all right, we can get you a sandwich if you just come out. Dude, and the
Mhm.
minute they start, all right, he's coming to the door. Let's make a break for it. Yo, they try to go through the side entrance. They open the door. One dude just goes, "Bah!" Real quick, and they take them all out in like a second.
No.
It was like,
I
yo, the
love
most
it.
crazy climax to the story.
It's
But go ahead.
No, it's kind of I mean, I have a role-playing game podcast. So I do like a fair amount of role-playing in my free time, but it's like it's interesting to see people who are so good at it do it like with like through a video game, which
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's really cool to see. Anyway, if you haven't gotten into like No Pixel, go fucking do that. Shouts to Zune who just dropped No Pixel in the chat, which reminded me. Anyway, yeah, back to GTA. Drop some S in the chat for me because I can't get it yet. And
His
I
brain
know
is
there's not
smooth
a
today.
better. It's very smooth, and I know there's not a better deal in gaming than free 99. Anyway, speaking of nostalgia, guys, I'm sure you've heard the news. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 are getting remastered. I am fucking excited. Gabe, how you feel about that? I love those games. Like I thought they were very cool. The soundtracks were incredible, and devs did confirm that most of the songs are coming back. So hell yeah. But I don't know. What do you remember? What was your experience playing like Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 has a very special place
Yeah,
in my
bro.
heart. When I was younger, not like I'm old right now, in my prime. And
When I was
I
younger.
was I was gonna hit a Doctor Disrespect quote, but never mind. So I used to go to my babysitter's house, Sandra, when I was younger, and me and Albert,
Mhm.
her son, and everybody, all the other kids who were there, we would play Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. And it's like when we figured out how to do the cheat codes, it just changed everything.
Yo.
That's all we did, which is why I have such an affinity for cheating because cheat codes and gaming goes hand in hand. And we would just do the most
Mhm.
ridiculous things, trying to get the most craziest like grind sequence you can get and go rap and the music, the soundtrack. Also, like for the
Oh,
time, like skateboarding was so punk, it was so cool that it was just like it was everything you wanted in a video game. Like I
yeah.
probably won't go back to it because I've completely fried out on that game, but it's still so important.
That's fair. I played it recently because I guess this was last year, but I played it because I had to talk to Tony Hawk for a story
Wow.
that I was doing.
Subtle flex.
Yeah, that game is hard, but also Tony Hawk is very cool.
Yeah.
I had a great time talking to him, but
Mm.
he told me a bunch of stuff, and you can read if you want to read the piece. I can drop it in chat. Hold on, let me drop it in chat. Let me
Do you
just.
do you
Uh
think a Laird Hamilton pro surfing game would be as big as Tony Hawk Pro Skater?
no, absolutely not. But
Laird pro
Tony Hawk told me he actually told me when they were working on the game at Neversoft, like he was teaching the devs how to skateboard, and apparently
Beautiful.
one of them actually ended up breaking their ankles trying to kickflip. But they all learned how to skateboard, so they're all skaters now. That's great.
I
Also,
mean,
skating is back, bro. Like
what?
I've
How
seen,
dare you?
I feel like I see skaters everywhere on like TikTok and stuff. I don't know. It's cool. It's
Dude,
still
I mean,
cool. It's still punk.
okay, I mean, it's weird because like skating has kind of got a second life because of like hip hop. It's weird a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, skating is
it's fucking.
besides riding a bike. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just like Odd Future was like some of the
Yeah.
first people to start bringing that back into the mainstream,
Yep.
which is pretty
100%.
cool.
Then
I liked
also,
it. I
yeah.
liked it.
I mean, it's just like skating, graffiti, all that like DIY, be a punk, jump over fences, kind of a
Mhm,
nostalgia and feel. I think is just always prevalent. And then if you go to today with like how today's, I guess, generation, they don't really
mhm.
have like, yo, go be a punk and go do this. Like it's like you
Yeah, I
can't.
mean,
But
if you want to talk about online identity and identity formation in general, I think like a lot of people, like a lot of teens now have so much more to choose from. There's so many things you can draw from, and the
yeah,
internet lets you access a bunch of different subcultures at once. So you can like pick and choose what suits your personality. So yeah, there isn't actually that like I don't think there's that stereotypical sort of like I'm a punk, like I do this thing, I do these things.
yeah,
Now like anybody can do anything, and it's actually I think that's cooler. Like I like that there's no monoculture and there's no like corresponding like dominant alt culture to push back against it. Although I do miss goths.
I mean,
and seeing kids.
it kind of, in a lot of ways, I know this is not a conversation we probably should, but it kind of like dilutes the cultures of those
Hmm.
independent things, right? Because yes, it's great, it's amazing. I mean, you should always have people like, I grew up, I knew the best kids play basketball, the kids who game, the kids who do comics, draw everything. Like,
Yeah,
it's always good to have that, but it kind of like it dilutes those like genres or those niches a little bit because it's like no one actually goes all in on them, and then you don't get the
yeah.
people like a Tony Hawk, for example, who was just nothing
Well,
but skateboarding.
I don't know if that's necessarily true because I think the people who are the best at that stuff do naturally rise to the top, and like
Yeah.
they do like they're fuck, I can't remember his name, but there's this amazing skateboarder who got a profile in the New York Times Magazine, and he's just like watching his videos is incredible. He skates around New
Mhm.
York City too, and it's like he's this like 22-year-old dude who's just fucking great at skateboarding. And I thought we'd seen the end of like the Tony Hawks, but this guy seems like he could be the same kind of person. But I
Mhm.
also think this stuff kind of like keeps like the picking and choosing and not getting too deep into stuff actually kind of keeps those subcultures alive because like it's become a currency, right? When you like find something cool from the past, like the new thing is like tie-dyed shirts, right? Like that's the thing that's happening right now on
Yeah.
TikTok, etc. Like that's like 70s shit, right? That's like Grateful Dead kind of like.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and it's cool that it's coming back, but it's like, are people really into tie-dyes or the tie-dye lifestyle? Are people like being hippies and groupies
Yeah.
still? Like, no, like that doesn't, no, they're no like roadies anymore,
Yeah.
right? And
Well,
not just
tie-dye,
because of
yeah.
quarantine.
Well, tie-dye's kinda changed a lot as well because, like, you have people like Murder Bravado who have done, like, very unique things with, like, how they tie their
Yeah.
apparel. But also in chat, we have Brandon and Marissa saying, "I disagree, Gabe. Nah, Gabe. I feel like there will always be dedicated people in every avenue." Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's not gonna be dedicated people in every avenue. You're gonna have people who love things more than other people that take it to the
Yeah.
100th level. But what I'm saying is the more people who are gently into it with their foot, like, just their foot barely in, and they're doing a whole bunch of other things, you're not gonna have like a lot of those like major impact people like a Tony Hawk because it's just
Yeah,
like
maybe.
attention and skill separated all over the place. It's like
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying there's not the audience for this kind of stuff because there aren't those niches anymore per se.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
a Tony Hawk wouldn't get as much traction. I see what you're saying. See, I don't think that's true because this is a theory that I've been working on, but all influence online is the same. It doesn't matter how you got your fans. If you have them, they are there and they're with you. And it's like, it's like I have to get around to writing this, but like there are a bunch of retired porn stars on Twitch and they're great. They just stream video games, but like their audiences are huge, right? And it's like, where did they get those audiences? Obviously from doing porn. But it's like it doesn't matter when it translates into subs and bits and
yeah,
stuff, and like
yeah,
people are
yeah.
there genuinely for the person. Like it's cool. I think that's one of the cool things about online. Anyway, this is
I
a
know.
huge digression. This is a very long
No, this is
digression.
what conversation
But
is all about, baby. Let's come on
yeah,
now.
you're right. I feel like it's a conversational day. We're having a conversation day. This is a conversation episode. But I do want to talk about Valorant because I need to know what happened.
Okay.
I know there were some nerfs and some buffs, and I don't
Yes.
know anything about who got nerfed, who got buffed.
Yes.
But I do want to say, Gabe, do you know the story of nerfing? Do you know how that came to be? This is when you say no.
Uh,
This is when you say
I
no.
mean, yeah, Bijan, you want to tell me why? Why?
I
What is
do.
nerfing?
I
Where to
do.
start? Please.
1997. Picture it. 97.
Okay. 97.
We're back in
Please.
the day. Everything's still good. You could still get Fruitopias, man. Ultima Online comes out, and
Mm,
uh,
mm,
the devs didn't balance the game right, so swords were just super fucking OP,
mhm,
just hugely OP. So everyone started using swords, and
mhm.
everyone else was mad about it. And then the devs found out, and they were like, "Oh shit, we got to reduce that strength," and so they did. And the guy who did it, one of the guys who did it, this guy Raf Koster, who is a legend, says on his blog, for the record, the term nerfing entered online gaming vocabulary because of Ultima Online. At some point, we reduced the power of swords in melee combat, and players started complaining that they were hitting each other with nerf swords. The rest is history. Like that's it. I
I
love it.
mean,
Anyway, tell me about what happened in Valorant, bro.
that transition. So Valorant just got its rank mode about 2 weeks ago, and rank
Okay.
isn't anything that matters. No, I can't even play
Oh
casual
my
games with
god.
my friends anymore. They like last
Dude,
time I'm trying to play with my friends on my DGen server, and I'm like, yo, let's just play some unrated because I have like I'm not at least gold ranking or silver ranking to play with them yet.
uh-huh.
And they were just like, nah, what's your ranking, bro? We can't play with you. I'm like, dude, we can't just play unrated. No, only ranked, only ranked. Like everybody's trying to prove themselves so hard in a beta.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's not even like the official full release yet, and it's blowing my
Okay.
mind. Like, calm down a little bit. But the nerfs came to the game, and I have the list from Polygon because my brain will not be able to hold everything in.
Polygon.com? Is your brain smooth
Polygon.com.
too? Is your brain smooth too,
Not
bro?
smooth, but it can be. Not all the wrinkles can hold
Mhm.
the water in them. Uh,
Yeah.
so the major things that changed in this balance update, this nerfing, whatever. The key thing that you may be familiar with if you play CS:GO, which is very important for these types of games,
Mhm.
is how you shoot and when you shoot. So it's not like Call of Duty where you can just spray and pray and just run and run and run and run and run,
Mhm.
and your shots are accurate. That's not the case. With this one, with these kind of games, these CS:GO S games, you have to do a full stop when you're shooting for your shot to be accurate. So
Oh, interesting.
for before the recent patch, the time between when you're accurate and not accurate was like almost non-existent, where you could just swing on people and get kills, and swinging on people is just like,
Mhm.
oh, he's around the corner, let me just jump around, pop, like, and you could be doing a full momentum swing, um which gave birth to something else in Valorant, which was, hey, let's hold shift, which will slow your
Mhm.
walking down and just do that most of the map because you have almost 100% accuracy. So they did a couple of those patches where the time between that, like you have to do a very close, hard stop in order to get that shot off. You can't just swing on people,
Mhm.
which is going to be great for like new players, quality of life. Cause like, oh my God, why can't I get kills?
Hey.
Well, because you're just getting dumped on every time. And then there was some changes to some of the champs, heroes, the valors that came through. We're going to ignore weapon changes because like,
Yeah, that's too
whatever.
much. That's too deep for this show.
That's too big.
Well, go in on online culture, but not not hero
We're not
or
gonna
weapon
break
buffs.
down spray patterns and like, well, this is the gun you want to use at this time, and what's the push. So Sage, who is by far the best character in the game. She has amazing utility. She can put up a wall, stop all the team from
Mhm.
pushing. She has 2 slow orbs that can slow your entire team. She can res somebody at any given moment when she has her ult,
What?
and she has a self heal that regenerates throughout the game that she can use on
That
herself or anybody else.
that's fucking
She's
OP. That's
she
OP.
has so you have to play a game with her. Like you can, it's very difficult. For not saying it's very difficult for you to win, but it's very dumb for you not to have her on your team. She
Right.
just brings too much value. Like you can leave a site and she can hold the site by herself. So everybody, of course, uses her. Now the changes that came to her were the slow orb zone duration, as I said, got decreased from 9 seconds to 7 seconds. Doesn't sound like a big difference, but that's almost 10 seconds of you having to wait for an area to not be
Mhm.
slowed down so you can get through quickly, which can mess up an entire push. Then you have slow
Yeah.
orb amount decreased from 65 to 50%, which means the spread when it lands, it creates like a little ice walk. That's got decreased in range. Then lastly, which is more important, Cypher, who his spy cam when destroyed, its cooldown got increased from 30 to 45 seconds. So Cypher can drop a camera in any given angle
Mhm.
and always see like what's going on right there, which is massive utility. And that's why people have him in the game on their team as well. He just has so much
Mhm.
information. Information is king. Um, so when you destroy that, you're affecting his cooldown on that ability, so you can't use it as frequently. And then also I
Interesting.
guess the other conversation in there is they're patching Omen and Viper and trying to improve their abilities overall because apparently Omen and Viper aren't highly rated in the games. Like they're trying to put Omen, who is like this shadowy character. Myth plays him a lot on stream. You can see some
Mhm.
high tier plays from Myth. He's always smoking things off, so he can just sneak up on you, right? He's like a flanker and like an assassin essentially.
Cool.
Viper is very big on utility, where she's just smoking things with toxic smoke to close off like people from coming in or pushing her to be scared. Her ult, I think, is one of the best ults in the game, which creates this giant poison cloud that just covers an entire area and it stays up as long as she's alive in there, which can like completely just mess your entire strategy up.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
never understood. Like I have a friend named Jeff, and I don't want to keep this going for too long. I'll just wrap it up a little bit.
I'm
I have a friend
fascinated.
I have a friend named Jeff who I think is one of the best players I know in the game. He has really great aim and he's a Viper man. He doesn't play anything else but Viper. He is the most scariest person to me to push ever because he can aim and he knows his character on such a deep level that
Mhm.
no thing he does is wasted. He knows when to pop a smoke. He knows where's the one way smokes. He knows how to hold off area. Like you can rest easy knowing that Jeff is super consistent. And I don't appreciate the disrespect people give Viper. Like she's not valid. And that's it. That's my that's my piece.
That did not end anywhere near where I thought it would. I love that. I don't, because I mean, like, I don't know. This is what a beta's for, right? Like, you're supposed
Yeah.
to figure out the nerfs and the buffs and who's like, who's good and who's not. Um, but the other thing about Valorant that happened this week was Riot banned nearly 9,000
Yeah.
cheaters.
Yeah. It's
Cheaters
over
got
9,000.
banned.
Let's
It's
go.
actually under 9,000, Gabe.
I know it's like 8,900 and like something,
Yeah,
whatever
which is
that.
pretty cool. I mean, that's also so many cheaters for people who got invited to a
I love
closed
it.
beta.
I
Like, how
love
many
it.
people are playing this game right
Oh,
now?
wait, hold on, hold on, hold on,
I have
hold on.
no idea.
Hold on. Okay. Not everybody got invited to a closed beta. There was a small group of people got invited, and then they were giving out codes throughout the stream. So like anybody can get in the
Yeah,
game. It wasn't like they were
no,
select.
I understand. I'm just saying
Yeah,
it's like how many of those were they giving it? And my point is
yeah,
8,000 people seems like a lot. Like
yeah.
that's a lot of, because like how big is the player base right now? We
I
we
think the
don't
player
know.
base is somewhere north of 100,000. It's got to be north of 100,000.
So that's still 8%. Like that's a lot of fucking people.
I still have not ran into a single cheater So I don't. I mean, me and my friends have been accused of cheating at times, which is just like, no, you just suck at the game, get better at it,
Get
um,
good.
get good at the end of the day. So I mean, it's good that they're pushing out these bans and stuff. I mean, we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. They say cheaters never prosper, but it seems in video games they always find a way to wease through the cracks. Like CS:GO has had a consistent yearly, always an issue with cheaters. They always get in. You can't keep them
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like the people who live on the internet are people who are made to hack, break in, figure out the best way to ruin somebody's day because they got sometimes nothing better else to do. So we'll see what happens in the future with the Vanguard
Yeah.
and see if Valor can keep these people out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's nice that they're doing something about it.
Mm.
And that brings me to my last point. Speaking of doing things about things, Twitch news.
Oh, here we go. There, that was a beautiful
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
transition.
Right.
Beautiful.
I'm working on it. Look, I'm trying to keep
Twitch
the
news.
ooh, ooh, can we get that recorded? Can we get that? I want to play that as a little sting before we do Twitch news. Anyway, as you may have seen earlier today, the platform founded a safety advisory council to help Twitch fix its policies. So yeah, the point is to like help them fix their policies, rewrite some old ones, protect marginalized people on the site. That was like the specific words they used, and do some other quality of life stuff like identify things that are like sucking on Twitch. I think it's fascinating. They brought in a bunch of streamers. They brought in a bunch of academics and nonprofit people. The streamers, which is creators, our friends, focus of the show. They're Co-Carnage, Cup of Noodle, Ferociously Stuff, and Zizarin. And it's interesting because those are all people who have been on the site for a long time. Like they're great streamers and they know Twitch very intimately.
Yeah.
Zizarin in particular was like, he said he wanted to focus on inconsistently applied bans and suspensions. So hopefully we'll see some like some good stuff coming out of that, because I don't know. I mean, maybe it's Twitch covering their ass. Who's to say?
Yeah.
But I think if they actually let this team like give them suggestions and then take them, like I don't know, maybe we'll see like a nicer Twitch.
We
I
had
don't
a
know.
conversation earlier. Oh, God, I'm burping. The Chipotle is coming up. Please, Chipotle.
Chipotle
Tweet,
coming
tweet
back
me.
up.
By the way, before we
Come
get
on,
into
bro.
that, real quick, I just
We're
want to.
live.
We had Tai Long 234 who said Valorant is still in beta and has beta security features just like YouTube betas.
Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks for
I,
the view. Thank
I
you for
love that.
contributing to
I love that. I love that.
our empire.
Um,
Um,
so we had a conversation earlier with like them implementing these, new security features or whatever have
mhm.
you, like changes to the platform, etc. And you had a very, and I think the position I took earlier was like, okay, there's a potential slippery slope here, which there's not, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway. Which is like when you start regulating people, like what they say,
Mhm.
it's like, okay, what do you take away? And the example I use is like you had the simp issue about a week or two ago, where like
Right, right, right.
Twitch started banning emotes that had anything to do with the word simp or whatever. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of creators who had those emotes not to be like
Yeah,
disrespectful
it's
to
just
people. It's just in
community
their
built.
chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, yo,
yeah.
you're simping right now for this or that or this character, or whatever. And they lost those emotes because Twitch put that ban. And my argument was, okay, well, they started with the emotes. What's next? Are they gonna ban simp the word? And then you said, and you had a really great article you wrote about. I'm not gonna say it for you. Go ahead. It was about
No, no. I mean,
Twitch's
what it.
CEO. It's about Twitch's
Oh
CEO.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, okay. Yes, I did bring up. We're rehashing an old argument, but I think it's interesting because like last year I went to TwitchCon and I talked to Emmett Shear, who is the current CEO of Twitch. He's a very nice guy, but he told me in our interview that he does not think Twitch is a platform for free speech, and I think
Mm,
that's really fascinating because I think like you don't hear that kind of talk from like tech company CEOs, because it's
yeah,
just like you want everybody to be on your platform, but I think Emmett, and by extension Twitch, has a very specific idea of who they want on the platform. They want to create an environment that has like people, like that is welcoming to people and is not like insular and weird. And part of this is like obviously they want to position themselves for mainstream branding and recognition, and like this is now the moment where those two things are colliding, right? Like they
yeah,
have a bunch of non-gaming streams now. They're promoting the shit out of them, and they want to like invite people from the mainstream in, but they don't want them to encounter the worst parts of Twitch culture as it happens. And I think this is another step in the same direction. The Safety Advisory Council. I don't know. So I think it's interesting. I mean, I don't think I think Twitch, like it's run by people. Like they know, like they're not going to ban the word simp. Like it's not going to happen. Also, like the thing that they care about is like giving people moderation tools, because like every
yeah,
streamer decides what their chat and community is like. Like the way you stream is the people that you attract, which is the people who watch you, etc. And it's like very easy to tell like what kind of streamer a person is by looking at who's chatting and what they're talking about. But like they give creators and moderators all those tools to like regulate that. Like the auto mod feature on Twitch actually pretty good. Like it can get a little
yeah,
heavy sometimes, but it's pretty good. I don't know. I think it's fascinating. I think I don't think it's a slippery slope. I think no one is that stupid. Like, why would you know? Like, you know
You
what I mean? It's
sure?
like
Hold
they're
on,
not gonna
hold on,
like
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
they're
hold
not
on,
gonna
hold on.
shit in their own hands
Hold
and
on, hold
chuck it
on.
at us. You know?
Hold on. The reason why I'm gonna say this is why I'm gonna fight you right now, right? Praise
Okay.
be to
All
Twitch. We
right.
are
All
partner
right.
on Twitch. Twitch, please don't kill us.
Yo, yeah,
We
we're
know
Twitch
you got
partners. Let's
shooters.
go.
We know you got shooters online. You're talking about the same company that will ban somebody, right?
Yes, I know. I am
For
aware.
like maybe like being shirtless for 2 seconds and like
Yep.
some man chest is out there, right?
Mhm.
They get like an indefinite ban, whatever. But Alinity can
Oh God.
literally show the pepperoni pizza on camera, the pepperoni slice on
The
camera,
pepperoni
act like it
slice.
was an accident. It was a wardrobe malfunction, and she only gets like a 24 or 3-day suspension.
Yeah. See,
Like
this is
what?
the thing. Like
What?
Alinity is a
What?
flashpoint because she's always very close to breaking the rules and like sometimes steps over the line. But it's like it's one of those
Close?
look, man, I'm just telling you, like I've tried to talk to Twitch about this because I wrote a piece about the whole cat thing when it came like it happened last year and the disrespect, the Dr. Disrespect thing when he was streaming from a bathroom at
Ooh,
E3. Like
ooh.
that should have been like according to their TOS indefinite suspension, but they didn't do that and they didn't do it for Alinity. And it's like obviously the company has to balance its business like its business incentives. They're not gonna ban somebody like that, but like I don't know, like maybe I hope that they start applying their like suspensions and actions consistently. Like that's something that I want for them. And I think this council is like another step towards being like, okay, big streamers, like we know you're gonna like stir up controversy. That's part of your brand and how you get viewers. But like this is the line. Like these are the people who are deciding what the line is, and these are people in your communities. Like these are streamers who are big, who know like what it's like to be a streamer. And so I think it's like them like setting up some plausible deniability for like their enforcement actions. Like
Uh,
this is like, you know, like our team said, like this is not cool. And like I think it makes it like more publicly accessible. It's like, oh, the Security Council, the Safety Advisory Council suggested this, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be. I think we're gonna see more like Twitch has promised more transparency around enforcement actions, and I think we're gonna see more of that. And this is just another step in that direction. But I don't know. It's interesting. Like I feel like I find the problem of moderating websites like hugely interesting and important. Did I tell you I talked to the founder of Something Awful about YouTube's moderation
no,
problems
no, you
because
haven't.
like Something Awful had better moderation than YouTube because like Something Awful knew what like who its users were. It knew who it was for. YouTube just wants everybody on the platform, which means you're gonna get the worst people doing the worst stuff, and then you have to like moderate that. You have to like go backwards instead of be proactive about who you want on your platform. Anyway, I think it's interesting. I could go on with this forever, but I feel like I'm tired of talking. Can we bring up some trailer time? Is it time for trailer time, Gabe?
It is time
Or do you have more
for.
to say?
I mean, look, I'm with my man Tai Long. 234 over here. He's talking about Alinity has had so many chances, 80% of their profit. What would happen if they get rid of those type of people? Zoom was like Mixer would have been all over it. I think I agree with you. We're gonna move
I
on to
want wait. Holly says I want justice for the simp community. I just want to shout that out specifically.
censorship.
Oh, sorry,
Listen,
simp censorship. Never mind. Less good.
look, I just think there is a very, very, very apparent two-tier system of who Twitch cares
Mhm.
about and what they will let slide depending on who they are. Yes, Dr. Disrespect
Yep.
had that. Why would you go in the bathroom and live stream moment? But I
Mhm.
think
I asked him about that.
Alinity has had like
Yeah.
years of just pure like you should not even be allowed to live stream anymore. You got your stream
I
card
think
pulled.
I think this is like she's gonna be the person to watch, frankly. Once now that this stuff
When
is
it
being rolled
happens.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see in the future.
So
But
I yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know. This is an ongoing problem. It's hard to mod a website. I had it. What was I gonna say? Let me tell you a little story about TwitchCon, Gabe. You
oh,
wanna
here
hear
we go.
something cool?
Yeah.
It's actually not that cool. But
I kind of
so
felt
I
it
was
was gonna
walking
be.
around. Yeah, no, I was walking around the convention center, and it was very apparent to me that there is like a very tiered system. So like 90% of the people there are affiliates, right? There's a
Yep.
partner lounge, and the partner lounge is one thing. There was a secret super partner lounge for people
Oh,
like
I love
Tim the Tap Man. It had like massages, like with people, like fucking like green juice bar,
it.
like
Ooh.
latte, but like baristas everywhere and like booze. It was amazing. I was hanging on there. I was like, I see.
This
I
is
get
pretty
it
matter of
now.
fact, that is a perfect segue. Zune, do we have the clip ready?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Do we have the clip
This
ready
is not a trail.
of the Twitch streamer? Okay. So to give a little preface on the clip while she's fully prepping it, and as he said, Twitch has a 2-tier system, super secret lounge. You know, this is for the elite.
Yeah,
This
it is for the
person
elite.
let their stream life get so far into their head that they went on to say that my life is more valuable than yours, their viewers.
Gabe,
So
you
you
know
ready?
I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this clip yet. I
It's
gotta
gonna
like
be
roll
good.
this tape.
Here we go. Zoom, pull it up.
Hit me.
My value is so much more than all of your value put together, everyone in this chat. Like, I know every life has value, but like my life is far more valuable. Your lives have value, but mine is much more valuable than your life.
Oh,
And the fact that you don't even acknowledge this really disgusts me. It's like when you see like a super, super, super ugly dude that goes up to like a 10 and is like, hey babe, do you want to go out? It's like insulting. You don't realize what's happening here, do you? You think we're on the same level. That's insulting. And the fact that you think, chatters, that you're on the same level of value as I am is, to be quite frank, insulting.
bro.
Is that the whole thing?
This
Value is so much more higher than your value. Like your value
This
is
is
like
like-
being an ugly dude and going to a 10 and being, what's up, babe? Go ahead.
That was a pretty good impression, actually. I like that a lot. Also, did you see her sub goal is 69 subs?
Yo, thank you. I think Holly just said she's definitely clowning, but I wouldn't believe that because, as
Yeah.
Zoom told me earlier, she actually paid off somebody to get rid of that clip.
Yes.
Because that was,
Yeah.
dude. It's like first we look, okay. The one thing I give Invader Z from when she came on and said, if you don't have $10, truly, that
Yeah, this
doesn't
is
mean
the
what you
next
say.
step.
This is
This is
like
the next evolution. Yeah.
like Invader was like, she sounded like a she could be a great mom or great teacher, right? Like just like very condescending sometimes. This one was just pure like, I'm better than you. How are you better than me?
Gabe, you know what this is called? It's called solipsism. She like truly believes she's the only person in the world who has feelings or emotions or value. It's kind of incredible. I've never seen anybody like display like an illness so like vividly. Like that was incredible. What? I also like what? Just like I mean, I guess it's like galaxy brain shit. Okay, maybe she's like trying to find people to find Dom. Like maybe that's what it is. She's trying to like find men to humiliate online, and like that's high level galaxy brain shit. Maybe she's doing it. Maybe she's not. I don't know. But what? What? Why would you say anything like that? Like, I don't know. It's one thing. Man,
You know what?
This
I
is
think
high
it-
level. Like, this is like a higher plane of brainial existence. You know, she's on the fucking mental battlefield, like busting out a fucking Buster sword and just like swiping at anyone who gets close in brainial combat, bro. Like, this is mentally, I'm impressed.
Like she 100%. I think that we're gonna go with the no publicity is bad publicity. It's all good publicity. I think she knew she was gonna go viral when she said this.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was catching that. All right, Invader Z trend kind of went down. Now I gotta hit him with the next step, which is you're just not worth anything. You're just not worth a single. My value as a streamer, girl, your sub goal is 69, which means your value in the Twitch marketplace is low. Okay, let's talk about that.
Okay,
Like,
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to shit on
Okay,
people's
fine,
sub
fine,
numbers. That's
fine,
fucked.
fine.
That's fucked.
What she deserves. She's trying to shit on people. What are you? Who are you defending the villains?
I'm defending myself, bro. No, I have more subs than that.
Fine.
Fuck off.
Bijan is never exactly. You're a quality human being. But I'm gonna point out that Bijan is never willing to give out smoke. Let's go to the next segment. Oh, I'm saying like at least like a good 5K. 5K.
No. Not if her sub goal.
Are you
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Maybe like 500. Maybe like 500.
No, I think it's probably $100. I also think it's probably like
Hundo.
she may have said she may have like planted that story too. Like if you want publicity, be like, oh, it's like
Yeah.
to, like make it seem like this person got paid to pull it down to Keem, and like obviously it's gonna go viral.
Oh my god,
So-
she's trying to pay off Keemstar.
You know what we should do is we should check in a week and see how many subs she's got.
Ooh, weekly
Just,
check-in
you know?
with your weekly Twitch fuck up. All right.
Yeah.
Now besides
Yeah,
that,
the weekly fuck up. The weekly fuck up.
Fuck
Yeah.
up.
All right. Fuck
we'll
it
go-
segment.
but we'll spell it like, you know, it's a little bit more advertiser friendly. We'll spell it like PHO, like fuck. Like fuck up.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You know, gotta make it advertiser friendly. All right, so we avoided this a little bit earlier because we just went on like completely different, you know, flow state.
Yeah. Well,
Trailer time. Where Bijan, introduce your segment.
Trailer time. It's the time where we look at trailers that we haven't seen yet.
It's trailer
Okay.
time.
Trailer time.
the
Zoom,
first
roll
one we
the
have up?
clip. this is the only trailer we got. But this is so have you seen the tech demo for the Unreal Engine 5? It is one of the most gorgeous things I've ever seen in my life. Like this shit, like so all of this is live rendered on a PS5. It's like cinematic quality assets. It's billion. And he said the funniest thing was he was like, the guy, the dev commentating was like, it's billions and billions of triangles, because those are all like, it looks like random noise, but like the triangles are the size of pixels, so it's like a pixel perfect. Like everything is gorgeous. Triangles. Just imagine the triangles, bro. How many triangles can you conceive of? This is more than that.
Time to see what's next.
This is a lot of triangles.
It's time to see what's next, baby. It looks gorgeous, though. I'm so hype. I am so hype. Like this got me. It's not even a playable game, but it looks like Ori like meets Uncharted, which, oof, baby.
Okay.
Imagine that game.
I like the angle they took here with this new engine, where it's like, it looks really good, like the environment and etc. But they didn't go OD on the character. The character still looks, you know, it's a video game character. Where I hate like really hyper realism video games, because it's just like, dude, I'm not trying to run to reality. I'm trying to run away from reality. You know, it's like it's a weird thing for me, where it's like, for example, Hellblade, when that thing came on, they dropped that trailer of the girl going, that was the trailer. Like literally, I was like, yo, is this a death metal album? Like, what's going on right now? And I'm looking at the face. I'm just like, I don't really like this kind of aesthetic. So I like things to keep that kind of like, you know, it's a video game. I don't want it to look like too crazy. Like for me personally, I don't know. How do you feel?
I mean, I agree with you. I like that the environments are so beautiful. Like I think it's cool to see.
You see that? Look at that.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I mean, I have to say, speaking of graphics, I just finished Portal 2 again. It's my like second playthrough, because the first time I played it, like when
angry,
right? I played it when it came out and it was great. And I played it again recently on stream with my friend, and it was so good. And I was like, damn, this game looks great. It came out in like 2013, or earlier. Like it's like 10 years old now.
Good art doesn't age bad, dude.
It doesn't. And like they didn't try and be photorealistic. They were working with like the kind of assets they knew were like, they spent a lot of time clearly designing the assets that they use. And it was just a gorgeous game that still looks amazing. And fuck, man, I love being the round one. There's like a tall one and the round one. Yeah, the round one's
fun. The round one's that's the way right there. You ain't going around when you ain't doing it right. We got
anyway.
some messages in chat real quick.
Yeah.
Like, as more people start streaming, more people are gonna try to. Oh, this is in regards to what we talked about earlier. Are gonna try to do controversial stuff. The Chipotle is coming up to stay relevant or put themselves aside at the front of news coverage. Agreed. We both agree on that. I think me and Bijan 100%. And then Holly also brought up. So you're saying you didn't love seeing Norman read his pores in Death Stranding?
I did love that, actually.
You like his blackheads, dude? I didn't like that. I was like, what's going on here, Norman?
Was great. I was like, damn. It's so realistic. Now, speaking of realism,
go ahead.
Do you remember that game in Death Stranding? You can like piss and shit
I didn't play
and
Death
stuff.
Stranding.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's like weird. It's a mechanic. It's cool. And like you have to like, it's funny because like that's the kind of realism in video games that like I'm just like this makes it feel way like having to like empty your bladder periodically makes the game feel so much more real, because it's like you're clearly playing a human. It's not like a super powered fucking like this person sleeps and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's such a fascinating low tech way to like solve that problem of like embodiment in video games.
Yeah, I mean, Kojima's always really good at that. I think since he's such a cinema fanatic, he just tries to make his games as close to a movie as possible. Yeah. And from what I saw of Death Stranding, it looked like a movie. I just couldn't get into it because I was just like, do I really want to put 60 hours into this? I don't know. Is it even worth the payoff? But anyway, go ahead, Bijan. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna. I say that to say this, to quote Taxstone. We have another couple segments coming up, console wars and the weekly wholesome. But I think we should take a quick break. My mouth is filling with saliva.
Before we hit that break, and I know you're gonna be mad at me, there is one thing we missed.
I
just want to put this out there so people don't make this mistake. Because at the end of the month, we have one of the biggest games coming out. It's Last of Us 2. This past week, there was a massive leak. All the major plot points are out there in the wild.
Oh no.
There was so much outrage about like the death of whoever dies and blah 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 and all this. And Video Game Donkey did a video on it, and in the Video Game Donkey way. And just letting you know, avoid if you really want to play Last of Us, avoid typing Last of Us, period. Luckily, I'm
avoiding it.
You better avoid it.
My brain is so smooth, bro.
There you go. Good. Be full caveman. But we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we will be talking about the big meat and potatoes of this chat, which is the console wars and
Console wars, baby.
weekly wholesome. We'll see you back in about what, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I gotta use the bathroom.
However long it takes me to piss. Yeah.
I'm
Go Death Stranding that thing, man.
Dude, break!
Heat that mic up. Heat it up. Hot it up.
There you go. Hot plate. Make it sound like we're in the kitchen. We are back.
We are, and we're cooking again.
I'm gonna steal from a friend of mine's saying that he had a long time ago for his radio show. If you hear our voices, you're not lost. You're watching super late. And usually it would be like you're watching ZD with the sauce, but we're super late in the sauce. Anyway,
ZD with the that's good. That's good content.
His last name is ZD, right? So like his Instagram was Big ZD. So he was like, if you hear our voices, you're not lost. You're listening to Big ZD and the sauce. And I was like, that is so clean. He's a rapper. I'm like, yo. Anyway, shouts out to you, ZD. I took your thing for a second.
I love it. All right. Let's do it. Gabe, you had some theories. You had some theories about consoles.
Right. So, let me just get this set here, right here.
He's about to go the fuck in. You can tell.
Make sure the angle is proper. Okay. Make sure the angle is proper. All right. So, this past 2 weeks, week and a half, week and some change, week and whatever, Assassin's Creed Valhalla got announced. And they were talking about this earlier in the show. How the game is coming out on next gen console and current gen console, so PS4, PS5, Xbox, whatever, Xbox, whatever. And the issue here was that the game was running, and I could be wrong, not 100% right. It's between 30 or 60 frames a second. I think it was actually 30 frames a second.
Sure.
And with the 30 frames a second, it's like, okay, these consoles are probably gonna cost $600. They're the best consoles you're ever gonna get, right? At the time. Crazy technologies going into it, equivalent to 2080 Ti's and all weird things that have high numbers that make sure that this thing runs better than anything that's ever existed to this date. And you're telling me right now in 2020, we're going to play one of the most budgeted, highly budgeted, one of the most acclaimed series franchises, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to see, put the hood up, and we only playing in 30 frames a second in 2020? 2020. There's games that are literally trash in terms of the way like the design and graphic and how much power they need from the CPU and whatever, and they run past 60 frames a second. So my whole thing was, are we going to go into an era where the current generation of the next generation of consoles coming up is going to be held back by the past generation of consoles because of what we've done in the past year or two, where Fortnite started this all off, where you can play the game on anything, phone, whatever, where now developers are really focusing on making sure you can play the game on the last gen consoles. Because last gen consoles are still good. You don't really have to upgrade if you don't have to. So was that going to create like a weird system? Go ahead.
So Gabe, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How many frames can you see per second?
I see all the frames.
The reason I ask is because I think it's interesting. I don't think it's holding back devs. I think they were how do you develop for a new system that's not out yet when you haven't really gotten specs and stuff? And I know they get them early, but like an Assassin's Creed game takes a very long time to develop. And part of that is you're optimizing, like obviously you have more hardware power to like take advantage of on a next gen console, but you still have to keep your audience. Like the game makers want to sell as many copies as possible. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. What it reminds me of is the Wii U and the Switch, because a bunch of the Switch's titles are titles that originally appeared on the Wii U. Like the Switch's library of games is huge because nobody played those games when they came on the Wii U. So I also think that like this is sort of like deepening the bench, right? Like you get a PS5, you can play the game that everyone else is playing, even though there aren't that many other games for the console. Like, you know what I mean? It feels like kind of, I don't hate it. I mean, also Assassin's Creed is not a game that you need a bunch of frames to play, right? You're not like playing online. You don't need all of that information. You don't need 240 frames per second.
Clearly, you never.
You just don't.
Clearly, you haven't played 240 frames a second before.
No, I'm saying like that makes sense for shooters and stuff. I'm just saying.
Just to go back to what you said on how many frames the human eye can see. We can see up to 1,000 frames per second, and accurately gets up to 150 frames per second. Look, I'm happy with a 60 frame per second game. I don't need 120. I don't need 240, but at least hit me with 60. 30 is super old, and I get it. And I get you. When we were on the phone earlier, you were saying, hey, movies are shot at 24 frames a second because it's a cinematic look. 100% agree with you. There is a look to 24 frames a second. that comes in cinema. These aren't cinema. These are games. I need fluidity of moment. I don't want to think I'm playing on a PlayStation 2, bro. Like if I'm upgrading.
But you also won't get frame drops because of the hardware. Like that's the thing. You just won't. It won't happen. But also like, yo, I think games and movies are coming closer and closer together. Like that tech demo was using cinematic assets, and B, like I mean like Avengers type shit. But B, like Death Stranding is like Norman Reedus, or not Norman Reedus. Fuck, whoa. Kojima's next project is going to be like a movie. You know what I mean? It's like these things are intersecting. Show me a game in 24 frames a second, baby. Like make that an artistic choice. I love that.
Real quick, Brandon, who is creative, knows this stuff. He said it's the motion blur from 24 frames that makes it so cinematic. That's the thing that's making it like, ooh, what is this little this texture here?
It's so pretty.
I mean,
it's so pretty. I don't think it's a bad thing.
You can't sell me like. Then at that point, then why get the newer console? Because
why get the newer console?
Which is like, okay, so then why are we making a new console? If we
because
don't,
you got to make a new console.
Do you? Because like before, there was 100% a necessity. Like, okay, PS2 to PS3, massive difference.
Huge jump.
PS1 to PS2, massive difference. Xbox 360, massive difference. PS4 to PS5, what's the difference? Besides
it's a big difference. I mean, it's a big difference. I think literally like what's happening is like it's not console upgrading. The console upgrade cycle is different because like it's not a necessity to buy a new console. If like I mean like until these devices are not being supported, right? Like you don't buy like you can still buy PS2 games, but nobody's like Sony's not supporting that console anymore, right? Yeah. So that's why you have to upgrade to the next thing and the next thing. Like it's not, and I think we're gonna see those cycles get longer and longer just because like the hardware is not gonna like go out of date quite as quickly. I think I read something somewhere that Moore's law is in fact like not holding anymore. Moore's law is a law that says it's like it's a not a joke law, but it's the law that says, hold on, let me Google this to make sure I'm accurate. But it has something to do with how fast processor power doubles. So Wikipedia, here we go. Moore's law refers to Moore's perception that the number of microchips doubles every 2 years, or the cost of computing. Hold on, this is cut off. Anyway, the point is like the number of processors in your processor doubles every 2 years. That law is not holding true anymore. We've gotten to the point where like physically you can't cram any more shit onto a chip. So yeah. I feel like, you know, I think this is like these cycles are going to get longer and longer because the advancements are going to be necessarily smaller. Like, I don't know. I mean, then we get what if we get quantum consoles? Whew. Imagine the power
consoles.
Baby.
I mean, it's like the whole that kind of then dilutes it for me. And also, Brandon said, I think it could become almost unpleasant to play a game above 250 frames a second. Clearly, you've never played a game at 240 frames a second, Brandon. Like Valorant, like you got to play. I need that 240, baby. That needs to be smooth when I go for those heads and click. Like it's got to be like instant.
No, actually, it is funny. I remember I was playing Fortnite once on a Switch, and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong? Why can't I aim?" And it was like because it was running 30 frames a second. Like you just need those extra frames.
So now imagine playing Assassin's Creed at 30.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed is not a game where you have to react. It's like it's not the same kind of game.
Speak for yourself. There's
how are you playing Assassin's Creed?
Did you ever play online multiplayer when you were going off?
No.
There's combat involved, dude. There's people coming on you from different corners. It's like, you gotta be ready. You gotta be able to. You gotta pull the blade out on a moment's notice and clean them up. But so then, like, this is the thing. So this is the thing. I love when I say this is the thing. This is the thing. Like you said, Moore's law, processing power. It's starting to taper off. We're getting there. It's like, how good can these things actually get? I feel like a lot of the excitement that happens with gaming tends to come with what is the next generation going to have. If you don't have a PC, if you have a PC, it doesn't really matter. You kind of sit above like everybody else.
Yes.
So it's like, if these consoles are not getting to the point where it's like, we have to get them, we lose like that new when you get a new box at Christmas, when you get the N64 and you have the Super Nintendo, you're like,
you're just nostalgic, bro. You're just nostalgic. That's all.
Because that's a part of gaming. It's a big part. The nostalgia.
What if we lose that
Christmas time?
What if we lose that part? I don't know if it matters.
What do we have? What do we have?
PCs.
And what about PCs are emotionless? We become emotionless. We lose what we lose. What makes us us. You know, the Christmas is already fading, Bijan, and we're gonna lose Christmas if we lose the consoles.
Gabe, you're just describing what it feels like to grow up. That's what's happening.
Do you remember when you got your PS2?
I didn't have a PS2.
Do you remember when you got your GameCube?
I do. I remember what you mean is I remember when I got my Xbox 360.
When you opened that up, when you got out the box,
Oof, it
and
was
it was not a Game Boy, and it was like, oh my god, this is just different. This is new.
I remember that.
And I'm looking at the PS5 like, why would I get this if I could just play this game on PS4?
Gabe, this is literally growing up. This is the experience of growing up. You've just exactly what it feels like. Because things get less exciting when you know more about them. Unless you get deep enough, and then they're exciting again. Look, man,
I think we're gonna have to disagree.
I think we will, but I'm sorry that you find that you can't take pleasure in things that aren't sufficiently hyped.
It needs hype. It needs that little thing about it that just like it's just first of all, my phone now is good enough to run really high quality games. Like really, really high quality games.
You've been getting into Brawl Stars, haven't you?
Oh, I'm all Brawl Stars all day. Like when I'm putting in 3 hours a day, I'm gonna go pro, not gonna go pro. Yo, dude, Brawl Stars is one of the best games, top 10 games. You need to play it. Like the minute you play, you will get 100% addicted. And anybody listening should download Brawl Stars. Plug for Supercell. Love you, Supercell. Give me some free boxes. Nah, that's yo, I need those free boxes. Yo, you got to pay for stuff. It's just like I agree. I don't agree, but I'm gonna agree. So we end on an agreement.
I found that like I'm just less excited about technology lately. Like, and part of it is like working at a tech website. I'm just like, yeah, like we get all this stuff. And we test it and it's fun. Like I am less excited about the things that I used to be excited about because I'm more excited about different things, like the things that I'm like making, like the things that the people that I care about. It's like my enthusiasm has shifted, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's just like that's what it feels like to put away childish things, to quote the Bible.
Wow. Now you're calling video game childish things. Wow, on a video game show.
No, I'm saying that feeling. I play so many video games. I'm saying the feeling of that excitement, that you can get that elsewhere. You can get that elsewhere.
You can. New motorcycle feel, new sneakers.
Oof. New sneakers. See, that's tight.
The new sneaker feel is different. You smile after you're like, ooh, this is brand new kick, fresh
Feels
sole.
good.
But let's get into today's, because I think, we're doing weekly wholesome now. We're transitioning from this segment because it's gone on for too long.
Oh, you're just sad.
Wholesome. We're bringing it up. Bijan.
Gabe, can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
You know what I'm excited for?
Mm.
I got a giant package of googly eyes, like big googly eyes on Amazon. I'm very excited to have that. Like, look, man, I'm so stoked for that. It's like getting a new console.
Where are you going to put these googly eyes?
Right there.
On that. Yo, somebody help this guy. Take us through weekly wholesome, Bijan.
All right, it's time for your weekly wholesome. This is the segment where we talk about things that are good and make you feel good.
Cute.
And that's where we're ending today because things feel good. And we want you to feel good when you leave here. So you come back. We want you to get addicted to the show so you keep coming back because you need the next hit. I need you to understand that. Anyway, Zune, hit us with the PokeCat.
I didn't even know what I was talking about when I brought this up. Where's the trend?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so if you didn't know,
look at that.
Happy birthday, Pokemon!
Happy birthday, Pokemon! We love you. Come on the show.
Very, very massive birthday today, and to the point that Pokemon's birthday was trending today on Twitter, but it was a very special birthday for this cat right here, whose name is Pokey, and the owner was like, "Oh, thank you so much for wishing my cat Pokey happy birthday," and I thought that was...
Look at that beautiful cat. Look how fat he is.
Look at that unit. Man. The stripe separation, the white coat right there.
Have I ever told you about the cats next that live on the roof next to me?
I don't want to hear about your feral cats.
Okay. No, they're nice. They're Pistifer, Mistifer, and Yuzu.
Pistifer, Mistifer, and Yuzu. Did you really name one of the cats Yuzu?
Yeah. Pistifer got his name because he peed on my AC while he was looking at me.
And what about Mistifer?
And then did it again. Oh, just that's Pistifer's wife. He has a little harem. It's weird.
Cat harems are real. What else we got for weekly wholesome, Bijan?
Gabe, I wanted to ask you something because you just did a charity tournament. I did. Because I also dropped into your chat and you were not paying attention. I dropped into Aaron's chat too. She was not paying attention either. Means it was a good tournament.
Dude. All right. So yesterday I had the lucky honor to compete in the Florida Mutineers 25K charity tournament. And the charity I was able to support was the Gift of Life, the Gift of Gabe. We partnered together, brought two amazing things. And it was a large tournament. 14 teams competed, all had a Call of Duty Pro and then some form of an NFL athlete, NBA athlete, and then the content creator of some sort, and et cetera, et cetera. It was a 4-man team. It went really well. Huh?
Were you the content creator?
I'm looked at like as an influencer, which always just like, you're a New York influencer. I'm like, am I? I don't know. I don't really know if I am, and I don't really identify. But so got invited. It was a great tournament. It kind of, for me, we got our steam later in the game, like later in the last hour, because the whole thing ran with like, we put up 2 games that we pick our best games, and those games become your accumulated score. So you have 3 hours to get 2 really good games. And what blew my mind was that there was a team that was in first place that got over 57 kills in a game. You're killing more than a third of the server, which is, I'm trying to figure out how you did this. I got to go back and watch. And then they got the win on that. So they had like, I think like 110, 112, some 100 amount of points. I'm just like, yo, that's got to sound like it's cheating. There's no way they got that in 2 games. There's no way. The only part that got me sad is that my team came in 6th to Aaron's team. And I went back.
What did Aaron play?
Aaron plays 2nd.
Shouts to the god, Aaron Ashley Simon, who's better at Call of Duty.
But I looked at her score. She only dropped 8 kills. Yo, she got carried, dude. I was like, yo. I mean, I shouldn't be mad because it was all for charity. At the end of the day, all the teams got a specific amount of funding to give it to a charity of their choice. So everybody, there was like one person wins all and only one charity gets it. So that was a really great thing. But Aaron, coming for you at the next one, you better be ready.
I've never played in a video game tournament before. I feel like I'm missing out on something.
Dude, when you do it, you'll realize why we just straight up ignore chat, because it's a whole like you got to be in, especially when you're doing these kill races and these win races where like placing and kills matter. You don't look at the chat. Like, I saw your message later. I was like, hey, Bijan, you still there? Oh, Bijan's not there. All right,
I was gone.
Back to gaming.
Bet.
Anything else on Weekly also?
Yeah, I mean, I want to plug my friend was last week I talked about this nonprofit fundraiser for nonprofits in gaming. It's still going on. There's 1 week left. I think it's good. I really want these nonprofits that help people in the game industry to like stay funded and keep people in the space, because frankly, like people are getting laid off all over the place. Like models are collapsing. No one's making money. It's terrible. And the other thing is, I might, they're ending next week. I might be on their live stream because they're doing a big live stream next Thursday after our show to like end things in a big way. So I might be playing games on stream for charity. I don't know. I'm very excited. But we'll see. Ambiguity. It's the spice of life. But I think that's all I got. I mean, I don't know if you guys also, I should say, if you guys have charities and stuff and charity events that are happening or cool, like nice, like cat pictures, please send it to us. Like we want to include that shit on the show.
I'm a dog person, so I don't know.
Look, I am a both person, but we can love them both. Look, I'll do the cat loving for you.
That's how you know you went to Bijan. Take us.
I will carry you. Okay, I'll take us up, folks. It's 8 p.m. You know what that means. It's time for us to go. Not always, but tonight. Thank you for coming. We'll see you back here next week, 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Right, it's Thursdays. On Thursdays at twitch.tv/368NYC. And I have a quote to take you out. We love you very much. But to quote John Donne, the poet, any man's death diminishes me because I am involved in mankind. And therefore, never send to know for whom the bell simps. It simps for thee. Thank you. Get us the fuck out of here.
Turn the stream off, please. What the?
For whom the bell simps, bro. It's funny.
I'm out, bro.
God damn it. Fucking Philistine. I quote poetry at you, and you give me nothing. Ida, just end this. Cut us off.
We still here? I'll try to put my back to the thing. Are we still here?
Fuck off.